So good afternoon. Today what we are going to see is all about Gibbs phase rule. So before going into the Gibbs phase rule, let us give a quick revision. What is the meaning of phase diagram? So phase diagram are graphical representation of what phases are present in a material system at various temperature, pressure and composition. So here in the last class we have seen a phase diagram of single component system. So one component system is nothing but we are studying only about water. Here they have given you a phase diagram of water. So now comes the Gibbs phase rule. So Gibbs phase rule, F is equal to C minus P plus 2. So what does F stands for? F stands for degrees of freedom of the system or number of variables such as temperature, pressure or composition that can be changed independently without altering the equilibrium of the system. So what, okay, we'll see that later. So C stands for number of components. And P stands for number of phases present in the system. So what is the meaning of P? So if we are studying about two components, so number of components will be, number of phases will, C, if we are studying about two components, for example, if we are studying about copper and nickel, copper is one component and nickel will be the other component. So that is two component system. And P represents number of phases present. Either pure liquid is present or liquid plus vapor is present. So if liquid plus vapor is present, that is two phases. If only pure liquid is present, that is single phase. Okay. So uses of phase rule. See here, they have given you the uses of phase rule. The phase rule predicts the maximum number of phases present in an alloy under equilibrium position at any point in the phase diagram. So the phase diagram will help you to find out maximum number of phases present in the alloy. So either it can be it can be purely liquid, it can be liquid and solid, it can be liquid and vapor. Such things can be identified with the help of phase rule. And the next one, if we know the number of phases are present, if the number of phases are known, one can determine the degrees of freedom. Okay. Thus, the phase rule is useful to know whether the temperature, pressure or both variables can be changed without changing the structure of the alloy. So what is the importance of the phase rule? The phase rule will help us to identify whether temperature, pressure or composition, whether these three things can be changed such that my structure of the alloy does not changes or it will be remaining in the same equilibrium condition. See here, if you see the example, it will be very useful. So illustrations of use of phase diagram. Here they have taken the example of one component system. See here, in this one component system, this triple point, in this triple point, we know that water exists in three forms. What are these three forms? So it will be in liquid, gas as well as in solid. Okay. So see, now they are applying F is equal to C minus P plus 2. So we are studying about water. So it is only one component system. So 1 minus and this 3 stands for phases. So water exists in three phases. What are those three phases? Liquid, solid and vapor. Yes. So 3 plus 2. These two stands for temperature and pressure. So F is equal to 0. So 0 degrees of freedom. This means that none of the variables, either temperature or pressure, cannot be changed at the triple point. Next, consider a point along this solid freezing line curve. So this curve is called as solid freezing curve line. Okay. So if you take this point, here the water will be existing in the solid form as well as in the liquid form. Okay. So here now you see F is equal to, so number of components, still we are studying about only one component. Yes. So 1 minus, this 2 stands for phases. So it exists in liquid form as well as in solid form. So minus 2 plus 2. So F is equal to 1. So 1 degrees of freedom. So here they have given you the result. Either temperature or pressure can be changed independently and still maintain a system with two existing phases, with coexisting phases. Next one, they are taking along the single phase line. So here you will be having, at this point you will be having only a vapor phase. Yes. So F is equal to So still we are studying about only one component. At that particular line it will be existing only in vapor form. So minus 1 plus 2. So F is equal to 2. This means two variables, that temperature and pressure can be varied independently, and the system will still remain in that single vapor phase. Okay, so here they have given you a modification. F is equal to C minus P plus 1. If we are studying under standard atmosphere, if we kept at constant atmosphere, then here it will be a modification. F is equal to C minus P plus 1. Okay, so this is a change in the formula if they are following at 1 atmospheric pressure. At constant 1 atmosphere. Here you can see an example of two component system. Here they are studying about nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. So number of components 2. So both are in same phase, both are in gas phase. So F is equal to C minus 1 plus 2. So that is equal to 3. So 3 degrees of freedom. So what does this gives you a result that you can change the temperature, pressure and composition. Thank you.